Hello, welcome to another tonal landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy. And the painting I'm bringing you today is called Dusk Path. It's a 5 by 7. I painted this, I don't know, month ago, month and a half. I'm working on that yellow ochre, which is kind of fun and cool. And what's kind of yellow ochre tone? It's actually house paint that's been tinted to match that. And our underpainting color here is some burnt umber, and you might notice too that the underpainting is not that involved. I kept everything really loose here, and that's actually one of the things I was thinking I wanted to talk about a little bit is looseness versus tightness in your painting. Um, Now, by the way, I painted the scene before quite a few times in different ways and means. Just as an aside, I had it composited with some reflective water in it for a long time and just kept saying, nah, I don't want to do that. And so I didn't. I did this little path, and I'm real happy with the way that looks. That looks good. Yeah. So, I was painting away in the studio today, and another scene that I painted before. I just kind of flipped it and was just doing my thing. And now there's a lot of different factors that come into play anytime you're sitting down at the easel and painting. There's the years of accumulated experience, of course, and knowledge, and that's a given. That's not changing too much. But what does change is your relative level of cognizance or consciousness on any given day. Some days you might be a little more on, and other days a little less, right? But if you're painting all the time, it generally averages it out. And then, whereas here's the other factor: you're interacting with the reference. Is the reference really involved and complicated? Is it forcing you to really focus and concentrate on trying to see what the heck's going on, or is the reference really clear so it's not a big strain, you know? That's another huge factor, I'd say. All these factors go in, and it might explain why you could do a really pretty good painting one day, and the next day you sit down and you pull out a stinker and you go, wow, I thought I'd arrived. What's going on? This isn't what I want. I want great stuff every day. Me too, you too, us all, right? Anyway, so I was working on this painting today, and I was going, well, this is coming out a bit different than last time, and a bit maybe looser, you know. And a lot of times, in fact, what I was remarking to the people in the members area, by the way, you can see this in the members area, and you get a nice good flash of the reference image, so you can see the sorts of, and I bring that up too at the beginning of the members area videos where I talk about the potential pitfalls or things that I'm watching out for and my plan, and I think that's quite a valuable bit of education and, so go check that out in the members area if you like. Anyway, I'm painting today, and I'm talking to the members. I'm going, well, this is just the way this painting's coming along, and the thing to do is to just move with the energy of the moment, always. Don't start. Now, you might get yourself in some little problem areas or some little cul-de-sacs, and obviously do your best to resolve those, get out of them, you know. That's every painting, though, really. Every painting is going to have these areas where you might go, ooh, wow. No, actually, not every painting. That's not accurate. Some paintings can have that, and it could be, any number of things. Like one of the things that consistently gets me is all the little skinny clouds at the bottom by the horizon, especially in these smaller sizes. That gets to be, and then when I look at my camera, I see some unpleasant patterns that I've created, and so I struggle with that, anytime I have that to deal with in a painting. But, the struggle's real, so I'm not complaining about that or crying or anything. Um, but what I am talking about is, yes, okay, you've got the sliding level of consciousness, and then the relative amount of experience. Now, one thing I've noticed with my work, and we're gonna have the book coming up here pretty quick, but let's get started now. Is in the old days, I would work a lot harder and a lot more strokes, a lot more drafting or rendering, a lot more of all of that, and things obviously would take a bit longer as well, right? Well, hold on, now we got the book coming up, and let's just start on the book. I'm going to pick up on that in the after the book here. So the book, well, this is the story of the book. I for years, I've been doing this since 2014. I've been getting questions and comments that whole time, and a lot of times people saying, "Hey, how come you never talk about this?" or "Where's the information on that?" And honestly, I mean, I could have gone through and rewatched every video and done these really involved tags, but yeah, what I did was I took advantage of one of these pandemic lockdowns, and I sat down and just started. It took me a while, of course, and I got this book together. And this book has all my accumulated knowledge from 10, 11 years of painting. At the point I sat down to do the book, and it's there for you if you're interested. That's $60, international shipping included. Go ahead, check it out. You won't regret it. No one has yet. No one's come back to me and say I don't like this book. Anyway, let's talk about it. So yeah, back in the day, things took longer. It took me longer. Now I could go slower. I mean, I could get a little more painstaking, but uh, the way that I approach things is always to work at a good, steady clip. I don't like to work too fast or too slow. I'm not in a hurry, I'm not rushing, but I like to lay things down and leave them alone. Now, if you're not laying things down and leaving them alone, that means you're reworking them while the paint's wet. That's bound to look bad. Another approach is the more indirect approach, where you basically do an underpainting, let it dry, and then come in another session and do some more work on top. That can be very effective. I worked like that for the whole early portion of my career, and that is actually one of the reasons why those paintings have more time and are more overwork. After a while, though, I became sensitized to the fact that I was losing things. I was losing good things, cool things, expressive things. Yes, I was gaining maybe clarity, I was gaining rendering, I was gaining draftsmanship, but these things don't really matter as much as you might think they do. I mean, once you have a certain level of draftsmanship and you're able to get things across, and I'm talking about landscape painting, I'm not talking about art or illustration in any kind of general way here. I'm just talking about landscape painting. Landscape painting is not about rendering, it's not really even about drawing. It is very valuable and good to have drawing skills. That's going to help you. But what landscape painting is about painting. It's about putting strokes down that are expressive, emotive, and in my case, not like slapdash expressive, but expressive in that they're serving my vision. I have some ideas, and I lay down my darks, and I lay down my next color, and the next thing you know, painting's done, and then I'm into the next thing. And but you can every now and again you can look at that and go, wow, this maybe is this a bit slapdash compared to where I used to be at, and that is the trade-off, of course, if you're going to be working, for a fresh sort of immediate painterly effect. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have, well, you can if you're someone like one of these Russian guys. Like, I can't remember his name. I think it's Siskin, Ivan. He's got it all. But we do the best, we do the best we can with the abilities we have. So I can only work with what I got. I can't be that guy. He's, does stuff that's expressive, natural, and not overworked. So, but I'm not him, so I'm not going to worry about him. And that's, just another little aside for you here. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Okay, that's a really foolish thing to do. Because everybody is completely unique. I can teach you things about painting, and in fact, if you're paying attention, I can teach you a heck of a lot about painting. I've had students here in Fongaray that I accelerated their learning to years in a matter of months. Okay, because if you're listening and you have an open mind and you know what it is you want to do, I can help you do it quicker. You know, but all that said, you have to work your way through these things. You have to do the paintings. You have to put the hard yakka in to get better at it, you know? And to my mind, if it's, in fact, I can tell you, I've had things on the channel where I've slaved for 8 hours, you know, you're getting 100 views, you know? And then I've had things I slapped together in a half hour and they're getting, 3,000 views. So there's a clue for you. Now, obviously, the one that got the greater views struck more of a chord. I'm not saying that means that it's a better painting. I don't believe that. If I believed that, you guys would have broke my heart a long time ago. Yeah, you don't always know what's good. YouTube audience, no offense, you know what you like and you know what you're after, and that's all good. Yeah, so I'm not saying that's my criteria for judging my work. It sure isn't. But it is indicative of something, and it is worth looking at. I'm not going to say it isn't, you know. And it does help make my point for me, which is that something that is done with some mastery and is expressive and beautiful is going to strike more of a chord than something that's been slaved over. Yes, maybe it's exact, it's accurate, but is it stiff? Is it was Here's another thing. We've only got a little time left, and I've talked about this on the channel all the time. You think you're an awfully consistent thing. You're a person. You wake up every day in the same bed, same house. You brush your teeth with the same toothbrush, and you think, "Wow, I'm very, very consistent." Well, and to a degree, you are. But in another sense, let me tell you something. If you've tried to, if you don't believe what I'm saying here, why don't you go ahead after this video and redo a painting that you did a year ago and tell me if it comes out the same. It's not going to come out the same. Even if you've only done 2 or 3 paintings since that time, it won't come out the same because you are a different person. You are not the same person. You are moving through reality, and the thing that is observing reality doesn't actually change, but everything else does. And so you don't think you're changing, but you are. Okay, and that becomes real obvious when you start, getting into painting scenes, revisiting scenes you painted before, like I did here. And I'm real happy with this painting, and this painting I had 2 galleries competing to have it in their gallery, and I was honestly a little surprised. I thought, well, is this too simple? I thought, did I really just downplay that? Did I simplify this too much? No, obviously I didn't. And I welcome you to go to the members area and look at the reference. There's at least twice as many tree trunks there, branches, everything. I didn't bother with. I didn't need it, and I didn't do it, and it's still being apprehended by people going, I like that. I think that's neat. I'm going to put that in my gallery, and I think that's going to find me a buyer. That's how they're thinking, and that's what we want. That's what I want my galleries to do. It's not so much what I'm into. I don't really know what people will buy. I'm always a bit surprised. But sometimes I know. But a lot of times I don't, and I don't care. Like I said in my last video. I don't care what you're gonna buy. Maybe I kind of do. Well, at least out here to the degree I know if I have water in it, I'll do better because that's what New Zealand's all about. But other than that, I can do almost anything, and it might sell, it might not. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this middle of the week videos. Thanks for joining me today and listening to the ramble. And yeah. Until I come back with another video hopefully for your edification and your enjoyment, do me a favor, do me a solid, take good care of yourself, your family, all your loved ones. Stay out of trouble. God bless you and your family, and please fight the power.